Why is it that some women, the ones who don't chase, become utterly unforgettable? Their presence lingers in a man's mind, a ghost he can't quite exorcise. It's because she's not just a woman to him. She becomes an archetype, a living mirror reflecting everything he's pushed down, everything he secretly desires but can't control deep in our minds. The psychologist Carl Jung spoke of the anima and animus, the feminine within the masculine and the masculine within the feminine. When a man encounters a woman who awakens this deep archetypal part of him, it's no longer simple attraction, it's possession. She becomes the physical projection of his soul's unfulfilled longing, the radiant symbol of what he needs to feel complete. To him, it feels like explosive chemistry, raw lust, an obsession. But underneath it all, it's his unconscious mind screaming, "Here is what I've lost. Here is what I need to be whole again." Every glance she gives, every moment of her silence, every bit of her apparent lack of effort awakens something primal in him. She doesn't chase him, and so his ego feels the sharp sting of not being enough. But paradoxically, that very sting is what fuels his desire. For the male psyche, the woman who seems just out of reach is both a wound and a cure. She exposes his desperate hunger for validation while offering none. She reveals the cracks in his armor but refuses to be the one to fix them. And in that refusal, he finds himself bound even closer, pulled in by the undeniable gravity of her indifference. Behind this intense longing, a shadow lurks. His desire isn't pure. It's tangled up with envy, fear, and even a flicker of anger. He wants to possess what he cannot control. He wants to cage something that was always meant to be free. This is the forbidden psychology of male desire. The more he tries to dominate her, the more he becomes a slave to his own shadow, his own inner darkness. But the conscious woman, the woman who understands this dynamic, doesn't play the game. She refuses to bend to this hidden contract. She won't soothe his ego or become the character he's unconsciously cast her as. Instead, she holds her silence like a weapon or, rather, a mirror reflecting him back to himself. In her stillness, he feels completely exposed, as if she sees not only the man he is, but also the man he is too afraid to become. Picture this. He's staring at his phone, waiting for her to text back. Hours crawl by. His mind spirals, replaying every word, every look, desperately searching for a sign of her approval. But she hasn't vanished. She has simply remained sovereign with her own life, her own breath, her own world. And in that space she creates, in her absence, she becomes more powerful than any message he could ever receive. He's not addicted to her presence. He's addicted to the silence she creates, a silence that forces him, finally, to confront himself. In attachment psychology, we learn that what we call desire isn't always love. Often, it's just anxiety disguised as passion. The anxiously attached man cannot rest when she pulls away. His body trembles with uncertainty, and his mind twists her calm independence into a personal rejection. A Stoic philosopher would remind him that it's not her absence that disturbs him, but his judgment of it. And in this way, she becomes a living embodiment of Stoic truth, unmoved, unbent, simply being by just being herself. She forces him to see that the chains binding him were always his own creation. For some men, this isn't just about desire, it's the echo of old childhood wounds. The emotionally unavailable mother, the parent whose love was inconsistent, the embrace that always felt distant. All these shadows from the past rise to the surface when he meets this archetypal woman who will not yield to his needs. She refuses to mother him, refuses to rescue him, and in doing so, she awakens the very trauma he spent his life trying to bury. But here's the paradox: in her refusal to save him, she gives him the greatest gift, the chance to finally save himself, to become a whole, individuated person. Wholeness was never going to be found in her arms. It was always waiting for him within the broken fragments of his own psyche. And so this woman stands at a crossroads. She could indulge his projections, feed his desperate hunger for validation, and agree to be a character in his unconscious play. Or she can remain rooted in her own worth and bending, untamed, unpossessed. This is her true, forbidden power. When she no longer seeks to be chosen, she becomes unforgettable. When she stops measuring her worth against his desire, she transforms into the living mirror of his own unfinished self. So the man is left in a state of quiet torment. He can't let go because he was never really holding on to her in the first place. He was holding on to a reflection of himself, a piece of his own soul that he saw through her. She was never his to begin with, and she never will be. The woman who can walk away in silence isn't weak. She is powerful because she sees more. She sees that his intense desire was never truly about her. It was about the mirror she carried, the shadow she revealed, and the part of his own soul she awakened. And in seeing that truth, she is, and always will be, free. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our next exploration into the depths of the human experience. See you next time.